Webb nodded, pulling up deep space sensor data. The gravitational anomalies they described are real. Something massive is moving through space in their direction, and it's heading this way too. Whatever this void swarm is, it's not a fabrication. Over the following hours, Earth's governments engaged in frantic negotiations. The aliens shared detailed technical schematics and star charts, proving their technological superiority while maintaining their non-aggressive stance. They even demonstrated their advanced medical technology by curing a terminal cancer patient in Johannesburg, simply as a gesture of good faith. The breakthrough came when General Harrison, speaking from the Pentagon, posed a question that had been troubling military strategists worldwide. If you're so advanced, why haven't you tried guerrilla warfare against this swarm? The alien response was immediate. We do not comprehend this concept. Please elaborate. It was then that humanity realized the true nature of the exchange. The Zephyrians, for all their technological prowess, thought in absolutes. They could calculate the most efficient attack patterns and design devastating weapons, but they couldn't conceive of fighting dirty, of using deception, of turning weakness into strength. Dr. Sarah Martinez, a game theorist from MIT, suggested something unprecedented: a joint military academy in space, where human tacticians would work alongside Zephyrian strategists. Humans would learn to wield alien technology while teaching the concepts of asymmetric warfare, psychological operations, and adaptive tactics. The first human volunteers were already being selected when Commander Chen watched the alien ships begin to move. But they weren't departing. They were repositioning into a defensive formation around Earth. "Commander," Webb said, looking up from his latest transmission, "they're asking if they can establish a temporary base on the Moon. They want to start the collaboration immediately." Chen smiled for the first time in days. "Tell them yes. And Marcus? Ask them if they've ever heard of something called the Trojan Horse." The war against the Void Swarm would not be won through force alone, but through the marriage of alien science and human cunning. As the two species began their unprecedented alliance, both races prepared for a battle that would determine the fate of countless worlds. In the depths of space, something ancient and hungry continued its inexorable approach, unaware that its prey had just learned to think beyond the patterns it had come to expect. Overwhelmed the defenses of countless worlds. Their crimson ships accelerated steadily, weapon systems charging for what should have been a routine extermination. The Defiance held its position at the edge of the asteroid field surrounding Kepler Station, a lone sentinel guarding the approach route to Earth's hyperspace lanes. To outside observers, it appeared to be suicide, a single ship against an armada. But Vasquez had spent months planning for this moment. The asteroid field wasn't random debris. It had been carefully seeded with quantum mines, each one capable of destabilizing local spacetime. The Defiance itself had been retrofitted with experimental technology that pushed the boundaries of human engineering. "Incoming transmission from the fleet," Zhang reported. "They're demanding our immediate surrender." "No response," Vasquez ordered. "Let them wonder what we're thinking." The first wave of hegemon escorts entered the asteroid field, confident in their shields and point defense systems. They had navigated countless similar obstacles during their campaigns of conquest. They had never encountered quantum mines that existed in 11 dimensions simultaneously. The explosions were unlike anything seen in conventional warfare. Ships didn't simply explode. They folded in on themselves, creating temporary rifts in spacetime that pulled in nearby vessels. The precisely ordered hegemon formation began to collapse as ships found themselves caught in gravitational anomalies that defied their understanding of physics. "First phase successful," Park reported. "We've eliminated approximately 800 escort vessels. But the heavy units are adapting their approach." Vasquez watched as the hegemon cruisers began using their larger ships as shields, pushing through the remaining minefield through sheer mass and firepower. Time for Phase 2. Initiate the Prometheus Protocol. What happened next would be debated by military historians for generations. The Defiant seemed to multiply, splitting into dozens of identical vessels that spread across the battlefield. Each ship appeared solid on sensors. Each one returned fire with devastating accuracy. The hegemons found themselves facing not one human ship, but an entire phantom fleet that struck from impossible angles and vanished before return fire could be coordinated. It was quantum uncertainty. Applied to warfare, the Defiance existed in multiple probable states simultaneously, making it effectively invulnerable while maintaining devastating offensive capability. For 6 hours, the battle raged across the Kepler system. The hegemon fleet, accustomed to overwhelming opposition through superior numbers and firepower, found themselves trapped in a nightmare of quantum warfare that violated every tactical principle they understood. When the reinforcements from the Third Fleet finally arrived, they found a debris field stretching across millions of kilometers and a single human cruiser hanging motionless in space, its hull scarred but intact. The hegemon empire, for the first time in their recorded history, had been stopped. Captain Vasquez sat in her command chair, exhausted but victorious. The cost had been enormous. The Prometheus protocol had burned out most of their advanced systems, and several crew members were in medical bays suffering from quantum displacement syndrome. But Earth was safe. Humanity had proven that even the most powerful empire could be challenged by those willing to stand and fight for something greater than themselves. In the weeks that followed, word of the Battle of Kepler Station spread throughout the galaxy. For the first time, subjugated worlds began to rise in rebellion, inspired by the example of a single human warship that had refused to yield. The age of hegemon dominance was ending, one act of defiance at a time.